Hey, I'm getting around to fixing the EM pump. So let me show you what I'm actually doing in here right now, because I still got a little bit of soldering and stuff left to do. So I'm adding a second motor. I replaced the one with this one here. We got some magnets right there. That creates a little bit of electromagnetic field. I'm going to be putting in a whole lot more magnets to kind of increase it, intensify it a little bit, as well as a bigger LiPo battery. This one is a excuse me, I think it's a 1S LiPo.
When it's night, when it's day, we explore, we investigate. The paranormal, to seek the truth. E.V.P.S. Paranormal.
If I'm not mistaken, should give it enough power for this, but basically what I'm going to do is the same as what I did on the opposite side over here. I'm going to glue this guy down, and then I'm going to put some magnets there, and then I'm going to try to encompass it around there, and then also on the lid itself, which is also where I attach the battery. So that should give it a decent area, and I left the gears on these. These are some of my RC stuff. I left the gears on there, the little pinion gears, because it's a little more surface than what I was originally using for the metal. That's what I was using before. So this is just a little spring, and it does work. It creates a decent magnetic field. But if I can increase it, you know, maybe something else will come through. Here is the old motor. It had pretty much died out. You can see what happened over there on the side. I don't know if you can see that or not, but basically it burned out. No sense in replacing these. I've got, hell, besides that one here, I've got this one. I have this one. And then I also have this little guy here. This is a high torque motor, but it's a smaller one. I don't want to use anything like this. I kind of want the bigger motors for that. But they came out of a drone, and they're still good, you know, for what I want to use it for. So I'm big on repurposing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get the camera fixated in here to where you can kind of see a little bit about what I'm doing. And that way you can kind of check out, you know, as I go along here about what I'm doing with the little build here, so you know kind of how to do it yourself. So I'm gonna get everything set up here, and then I'll show you how I do it. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is we're going to get the motor secured. So I'm probably gonna put it, give ourselves a little more room. I'll put it like right here. So basically all I'm gonna do is just add some glue back here. Oops. This little glue gun's kind of a pain in the ass, but it works. So, kind of just stuff some in there, you know, a little extra to make sure it's not going to go anywhere. Give it a second to dry. And then we'll put in some magnets. Now these magnets have like little sticky backs, so they're really easy to put in. So I'll put one there, and then I will put one right there as well. And then probably I really want to add some more up and around, but let's see how this looks. So I guess it's about the same. So basically I want to line the little guys up right there. So let's just start adding some on. Put a little dab there. Put one down. Then we'll just keep going with that. Now what I'm hoping is that gives me enough room to, yeah, this should be okay. Yeah. So that should give me enough room. Actually, I want to move them down a little bit. I think it's a little too far up. So I'm going to get all these off of here real quick. And then moving down just a little more. So I want to put them like right about here. Something like that. Okay, does that match up a little bit better? Okay, that does. That matches up a lot better, actually. So, basically, I got it in line with this one here. Now, this one down here, I can't really bring it down because that's where I got the other one there. So, I guess, well, I can move these two down. We'll do that. So, they're pretty easy to get off of here. Just kind of like twist them off and just kind of move them down. Pretty simple. Something like that. That should work. So let's see where that hits. So these two are going to hit over there. Those two, okay, yeah, that actually works really well. So let's give it a power on here and see how well it works. At least functioning anyway. We'll check the field here in just a second. So we got the power on. Let's turn on some juice. Get the camera to focus here. Okay, so that one works. This one is not turning for some reason. Alright, so what's going on here? Oh yeah, okay. That alright, yeah, that wire is not going to work for that. It's just not thick enough gauge. So I'm going to have to change out the wiring here. So hold on one second. Okay, so I switched angles here to where I can get in here to remove the old wiring. So give me just a minute to get this old stuff out of here. I got to kind of move my plug here. Everything's short plugged these days. So we are going to take off. I'm going to try this one here, just the negative lead here. See if maybe I can get down in there. I don't know. It's gonna be kind of rough. Well, kind of hard to get in there. Okay, so I got that one out. Let's try to get some more on here. Okay, so let's see if I can get in here good enough to place this down. This is going to be kind of tricky. Okay, so that's on. Hopefully I didn't screw up the other wiring here, because it's all kind of delicate. So the reason I'm trying to kind of like daisy chain all these together is I'm trying to keep the wires away from each other. without, you know, going crazy and adding tape and all that stuff. I'd really rather not. I don't know, we'll see how this works. There's part one. Over here. I got that melted pretty good, but it's still intact pretty well. Okay, so that's a better wire on there. Let's check that out. See if it if it does any better. I mean, it looks ugly, but it's got a decent solder, so might work. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, we're plugged in. Now they both work. So you can see down in there, this one's working as well as that one. Trying to show you here. Alright, now what I want to do, I'm going to take the screws off here, turn it off for a minute, take the screws out, and we're going to throw the lid on. So just going to kind of do that. That's all that really holds that anyway. Hopefully all the wiring stays in there nice and neat. Put that on the back. Just going to put one screw in. Nothing crazy either. It doesn't have to be tight. Alright. So, it's operating, so let's see what field we're getting. Okay, so here's the EMFs that I like to use. They're ELF zones. They're real simple and basic. Turn it on, okay, nothing really. I get towards my wiring and stuff and there's a little bit. So as you can see, there's nothing right here, right? So let's turn it on here. Yeah, check that out. Look at the danger level. Okay, come up here, it's still caution. Still in the safe zone, but it's still a decent amount. So that's the front side. Let's check out the back side. Caution. Danger. Okay, it's about the same. It's producing a decent field, which is the kind of the whole point. Now we can get, you know, more magnets, better magnets, more motors, all that kind of jazz, and, you know, really pump this up. But the whole point is just to give them a place to start. Then from there, you know, they could do other things to manifest. So this should give, you know, a decent amount of energy. Especially being in a danger zone, you know, a few inches away from the box here, so I kind of like that setup. Eventually we'll build onto this, or we'll build another one or whatever. I do have bigger motors. I have brushless motors and that kind of thing. What I want to do is kind of build an enclosure at some point and do magnets all around it, so it creates a bigger, better field. But until then, this will work good. So I'm going to see if I have two more of those big magnets. Maybe I can stick them there and see if I can increase it a little bit. Tear off some of this glue that I put on there. So that comes off pretty easy. See if I have any more of the big magnets. I got a lot of the little ones, but okay, cool. I got a couple more right here. So I'm just going to see if we can get a little more out of this. See if something like that would increase it. Now we can also increase the flow of the actual motors too, and that would, you know, increase the speed and everything else, and that would obviously speed it up a little bit. But these are just little bitty brush motors, and nothing special. So okay, so we got safe and nothing really right here, right? So let's turn them on. Okay, ooh, danger right there now. That's cool. still in the caution up here. Right about there. Okay, that's not bad. Check out the other side. Caution. Danger. So, you know, I'm fairly happy with that. Again, this was the first EM pump that I've ever built, and it does work. It's just not, you know, super powerful, which, you know, it's going to take a lot to get the energy, you know, really blowing out in the entire room. So this will be usable for the investigation. That's what I wanted, so that will work. So that one's all patched back up, ready to rock and roll. Everything's charged. It would be nice to get more, you know, power out of it. But again, I don't think that, I don't think I'm going to get more out of these motors without adding more to it. And at this point, I think I'm at the capacity here, 3.7 volts of this guy here. And I don't want to go up to a bigger battery yet. I want to kind of do some experimenting with this before we go any further. So we're going to check this out and see how far we can go with that, and hopefully it'll give us at least you know, something that we're looking for, or at least close to it. So that should increase our range anyway, and that should help us out quite a bit. So as long as that stays together, because another reason why I don't want to do it too is you can see where I got into the wire here. But I had to increase the gauge of the wire down here for the negative, and these are already pretty hot. So yeah, this one here is really hot. That might be a little bit of a problem. I don't know why it's so hot. So that might be a sign of that not going to last very long. I don't know. It is pretty warm, so we'll just see how well that goes, and go from there. I had thought about maybe adding a second switch on there or something for the second motor, but I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot. It's still going to do whatever it's going to do. So, see if I can get this positioned a little bit better. Maybe that'll help out. I don't know. So we're going to try that, see where it goes, see, you know, how well it performs, how well it doesn't perform. I'm probably going to add some more magnets in there just to, you know, see if I can get more out of it. Add some more of those little ones there. So do something like this. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just, you know, to see if I can get a little more out of this, because I don't want to increase the voltage. I don't want to increase the you know, LiPo battery, because LiPos can be dangerous if you mess with them too much and you're doing too much with them and pulling from them too much or too fast. So see if maybe that gives us a little more. So I'm going to put it all back together, and I'm just going to kind of see what's what, and I want to get a temperature on this as well, kind of see where the motor's getting, because I know about what they should be temperature wise. So let's see, let's just get a real estimate on, you know, where everything is, so we can kind of make a real guess here. So I'm just going to close it back up, you know, just lightly, nothing crazy. Okay, so these are the temperature meters that we use in the field. You basically, you know, shoot a beam, basically. So you can see the beam right there. And that tells you what the temperature is over here. I got to set the Fahrenheit. So we'll check that out here in a minute. Let's see if that added anything to it. Okay, it's got a nice hum. Caution right there. And it's about the same. Danger. Caution. Danger. Okay, so it's about the same. So let's see where this temperature is at on this before we get real carried away. See if maybe we got to worry about a temp problem, because I don't want to have problems in the field either. So let's see where we're running here. About 97 degrees, 98, 91. So let's see what it actually gets up to. This one over here is running nice and cool. Ooh, that came off. Kind of weird. $96. Well, maybe not. This motor is getting so hot that it's melting the glue. So, okay, I might have to change that one out. So, let me see if I got another motor here to kind of check it out. Hold on a minute. Alright, so we have exchanged this one here because this one's getting really super hot. And we put this guy in. So, before I get real crazy and get them all fastened down and everything, let's just see if how it works, if it works. Okay, it does work. So let's throw a little bit of glue on there and see how this one runs, and hopefully it doesn't get as hot, you know. So that's the basic setup there, and I'm going to have to do something about the wires here. I don't want them to touch, so let's get a little tape on there or something. Alright. I'm going to really worried about is this one right here. Just to make sure it's not going to arc on the other ones there is all I'm really worried about. I'll button that up a little bit better before the investigation, but let's check it out now. See how good or bad that is. Maybe the different motor might perform better. I don't know. Alright, so the meter is on already. It's in the safe zone. Let's turn it on. Oh, caution already. Danger right there. Okay, so that does seem to work a little bit better. Caution. Danger. Alright, so the next step is, let's see how hot it gets. Now, just because I work with RC stuff, I can hear the humming of the motors. They sound pretty healthy, but you know, it doesn't always mean anything either, so they're running pretty cool so far. Got 82, 84, 85, 87, and we'll say 88 on the side. So, okay, neither one of them is breaking 100, so excuse me. We'll let it run for a few minutes and check it out. Maybe the one had a bad wire in it or something. Now, the reason I say that is because these come from my old drone, and this is the other one that I'm not using, and the board itself in the back has busted off, so they've seen some damage. This was on a crash drone, so I just wanted to see if I could, you know, repurpose them and use them for something else. And I like that. That's nice. That's pretty cool. So that's not going to go anywhere. I think it's all we're going to get out of these without increasing the battery, which I'm not going to do right now, and increasing the actual RPMs and stuff of the motors. But I'm pretty happy with that. I think that'll work pretty good, at least for what we're doing right now. Now, eventually, yes, we're going to ramp this up and create a nicer one, but for now, this will work pretty good, I think. So that is what I'm going to call fixed for now, and you will see this in our next investigation at the Opera House, which is coming up really soon. So stay tuned, and you will see this as well as other equipment that I've made on the Twin City Opera House investigation. Take some time to edit and everything with everyone's work schedules, so I think you're going to see the video at some point, maybe 2 weeks to 4 weeks after we shoot it. So sometime in September, I would imagine. hopefully early part of September. Should give us enough time to piece all the files together and go over the evidence and everything else. So, but yeah, this is ready to rock and roll again. And this has been a pretty cool little device. I've got mixed feelings on it, but I've had some decent results on it. So we're trying to go a little further with it, see what else we can do. So we basically added a second motor. We fixed the other one, took out the bad burnt one, and then we tried to add some more to it, but just wasn't really anything else I could put in there because the motors that I have are not the greatest. But those things are really cheap. And I've got all kinds of little reductions and things like that I could use for metal parts and copper parts and make it go slower, faster, that kind of thing. So we'll play around a little more with that later. For now, I think that's what we're going to run with, and I think for now that's what we're going to run with, and we're going to test those out in the field and go from there. We're also going to go over some night vision cameras and things like that, and how to make them and that kind of stuff. All that stuff's coming up. So appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for the investigation coming up. I think you're going to like it. Thanks, guys.